Listen, man, Flash speaks back, man. Listen, I just got finished having this long discussion with a CC cult member about why she was snubbed. First off, let's get this out the way, man. The Chicago Sky lose yesterday. I guess I'm a default Chicago Sky fan at this point because I'm kind of watching them the most. Um, I do want well for the Fever, believe it or not, I do, because what I really want to see is the rivalry between Indiana and Chicago. But I guess I kind of root for Chicago um, because I think Angel Reese is disrespected highly, and people don't appreciate her game. Someone like me does. Like yesterday, she was taught a lesson by a vet. Who's that the player that she played against? I'm sorry, sister. I can't remember her name, man. Um, like I said, I'm new to this. Not new to hoops, but I'm kind of new to this here. So she played against, man. Yeah, Tina Charles taught her and Cardosa a lesson yesterday. She was 6'11" from the field, 9 of 12 from free throws. Um, she got outboarded though, but Angel was gonna outboard everybody. She grabbed 13 again, 10 defensive rebounds, 5 steals. I'm sorry, that's just my kind of player because I have an appreciation for the trenches. And it could be because I grew up, watching Pat Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaq, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar towards the end of his career, Lonzo Mourning. Like I have an appreciation for that. David Robinson, if I'm leaving off anybody. But I appreciate being down in there, dribbling, gotta fight through defense, put it up. Like that to me this shows the men, of course these are women, but it shows the grit, the toughness. See, for me, sports, that's what it's about to me. It's not about excitement and rah. That's part of it. That's part of it because some of my favorite players provide that. I love Steph Curry. I love Michael Jordan, but Jordan showed the grit and toughness too. Um, but I have an appreciation for that story being told. You know, the fighting for the loose balls. I just love that stuff. To me, the story is always going up against difficulty, overcoming it. That's the story of sports. To me, there has to be an antagonist, protagonist, for a story to be a real story. But Angel Reese can learn from Tina Charles. Tina Charles is a low, big woman, sound fundamentals. Um, they were killing Chicago on the glass at first. Angel Reese goes out and makes her first jumper, right? So then I thought she started to get a little confident, which I do like. But she was kind of shooting the team out a little bit. She was taking a little bit too many jumpers in that first quarter. I like her taking them though, don't get me wrong, but she was missing them. And when you miss them and you're not grabbing rebounds and the transition defense Chicago played yesterday was horrible. Um, the official transition points were what? I gotta go look all that up. I apologize for not having all that, but I just from what I was looking at, they got behind the transitional points. And then two, Chicago need to grab some shooters, man. They need to grab a couple shooters. Kennedy Carter had a bad game as well. This is the worst game I've seen her play, where she went and got 4 points. See, Carter got to provide at least 15. You know, um, and that's a bit. Serena Mabry, one of my favorite players, came through. She played tough, 12 points. I like Mabry because she's a grinder. She go in there and will fight you. You know what I mean? Evans scored 13. She might be, I don't know the official numbers, but she might be their best 3-point shooter. They need to add somebody, man. A lot of teams slept on whatchamacallit, the girl that the Aces picked up from Iowa, Kate Martin. Like, that would have been a good pickup for them because the second round pick, they don't even play her. They don't even play her, man. Chicago went real heavy with the bigs. I think Cardoso and Angel Reese were the right picks. Angel Reese people sleep on. Man, Angel Reese, like, you look at those rookies last year, she was giving them you 18 points. People picking Cardoso who gave you about like 12, 13 and so on. Not to say Cardoso's not a better low post scorer down there. She kind of is. She's really big. But Reese is a dog, man. 13, 13, 5 steals. My kind of player, man. I know a lot of y'all like the circus theatrics, but that's my kind of player. Um, but what happened was they got outshot, man. Atlanta got some. Atlanta is built very well to beat Chicago. I think part of it, Chicago was a little high off of that last win. I think they came in. I don't know. They were at home. Their energy wasn't right. They started fighting towards the end because they are a fighting type team, well coached. But um, it was just too much Charles, man. She really impressed me. I hear she's an old head. I could tell she was. She got that old head game. You know what I mean? And Cayenne Parker Tice, yeah, she added 18. Um, Pretty good, man. Pretty good. All right, but this is what I wanted to say, right, real quick about. This is the thing with Caitlin Clark. Like, see, hoop heads like really see the story of what's going on, right? A lot of y'all, like, I've heard arguments she's better than Diana Taurasi right now. No. No, man. You gotta look at Taurasi, like, her and Caitlin Clark averaging about the same amount of points. About 16 and a half, something like that. But with Taurasi, you getting grit, you get leadership, getting experience. She's been on multiple teams, all that kind of stuff. With Caitlin Clark, you getting a young player with a lot of hype and all of that, but and you getting some shooting, but you getting some nonsense, right? And then too, Caitlin Clark really would be a better fit if she was a better off the ball player. She kind of is one of the players right now that needs the ball, similar to James Harden, right? If she could develop, number one, more off the ball, running around all screens, catching, shooting. I saw a few of that. I saw a few of her doing that. Need to use that more. But if that's what she brought, they would put her in. They're not going to give her the ball and just like, all right, Chelsea Gray, y'all hating on. Chelsea Gray is a phenomenal point guard. Now, the question is whether or not she'll be healthy or not. I don't know. They say she's not in the walking boot right now. She might be able to play. You know what I mean? Plum can handle. A lot of them can. But this is the thing. Like, Caitlin right now has to work on the assist to turnover ratio. Like, she's a great passer, the court vision, all that. I see that. But she's averaging over 5 assists per game. Like yesterday, last game was 7 assists. If she was a vet, they would literally take the ball from her. All right, just to give you some perspective, right? For a point guard playing at an elite level is going to have a 3-to-1 turnover ratio, meaning you have 3 assists to every 1 turnover. So if Caitlin Clark is having 5 turnovers, right, she should be getting 15 assists, right? It wouldn't be a big deal. But the problem is you're getting about 6 assists with 5 turnovers. Now before any of you say, well, her teammates are dropping this and dropping that, like, at a certain point that's going to get, like, ridiculous because you should expect the longer you play together, the assists to get less. And then, too, y'all are not looking at the fact that sometimes she gets her pocket picked because right now she's not as strong with the ball as she need to be, especially dribbling. You know, when they put good defenders on her, they just swiping at the ball. And then you have the question is, well, how is she not top 12 player? She gets blitzed more than everybody. Let me explain to you why Caitlin Clark gets blitzed and why she gets trapped. It's because it works. That's the secret. Let me explain. She gets blitzed and trapped because it works, right? If you're scouting a player and you look at all of their numbers, you see that they have a high assist to turnover ratio. She'll turn it over 5 times, 6 times. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell all my players, like, look, blitz her when she's in a situation. Swipe for the ball when they're in a situation. Why? Because that's my best chance to win, is to get more possessions. She'll give me the ball. Like, that's the way that works. You can't say, well, see, like, if she learns how to beat it, they won't do it. Like, I guarantee you. If she punishes them, and she can use coach help and helping teammates and all that, but if she gets to the point where she's punishing them, like Jokic gets all these assists. Why don't he get doubled and all that? Because if you try to double him, he's gonna kill you. You see what I mean? See how that works. So that's why that happened. You can't. Your argument has to be cogent. You can't say, okay, well, why she gets the turnovers because she gets blitzed the most. Oh well, she gets blitzed the most because she turns it over. That's the way. That's the way that works. You know what I mean? So, there's that, man. She'll be all right, man. Like now, this is the one thing I want to mention. I think what they need to do is keep an eye on the Aces and what's happening with them. The Aces just lost, I think, their third game. Like yesterday, day before they got smoked by Seattle. But Seattle was a team that I just noticed like they got some players over there. They got smoked though. A team like the Aces that has championship aspirations, that has won championships, you got to keep an eye on what's happening with Kate Martin. Kate Martin, they didn't necessarily expect her to make that team. And I think she's doing good, and I think they like her. But teams like that who expect to be like undefeated or only lost one game or something like that, if she gets cut, the Fever need to jump on that. As a matter of fact, I think the Fever made a mistake. That's the first mistake they made was in the second round. They took a girl named Cheyenne. Really, and they had a chance to grab Kate Martin. If they were really trying to set Caitlin Clark up and build around her in that second round, they should have grabbed Kate Martin immediately. And they ain't about her necessary skill set, this and that, but she's a good plug and play player that Kate Martin is familiar with. Like, if you look at the New York Knicks right now, the New York Knicks are playing way better than anybody expected. You know, Jalen Brunson raised his game up. But as soon as they put Dante DiVincenzo with him and they put Josh Hart with him, those guys he played with at Villanova and won 2 national championships with, clicking, man. They made it to what, the Eastern Conference semifinal. You know what I mean? And had it not been for a number of injuries, one could argue they could have got past Indiana. You know, they should keep it. The Fever need to keep an eye on that. They could use like somebody who knows how to work with Caitlin Clark, like Kate Martin. If I'm Chicago, I keep an eye on Kate Martin too. Like they could use that shooter. You know, just saying. But anyway, man, that's all I have for today. Peace out.